and then a quick introduction for both of you.
Hi, my name is Rebecca Harrell. I'm running for Executive Vice President. I'm a sophomore, and I'm currently your Student Health and Safety Services Council representative for ASCW.
My name is Richard Arquette. I'm currently a senior in the social work department, and I'm coming back next year to complete my leadership certificate.
Alrighty, and the first question is, the pub is not being remodeled. What is your stance on the matter?
I think this is something that needs to be addressed immediately. It's one of the things that I've been telling people I really want to work on if I'm elected. We have a bond for the pub right now, so you pay $600 a year through SNA fees. Some of that trickles down into the pub bond. That bond is going to expire in 2018, and since the economy is down right now, it's down right now. So interest is down as well, and so this is a great time to reinvest. If we do that, we'll have at least $18,000 to put into immediate fixing, which is really necessary right now. There'll be about $10 million in deferred maintenance that we're going to have to pick up in our tuitions if we don't do anything about this. So I really think this is a huge issue that we need to take care of now, and if I was elected, it would be something that I would like to work with the council to make sure it gets done.
Cool. So, completely just go off of what Rebecca just said. I think that both of us, this is a big hot button issue for us. So, with the pub remodel, I think that it's really important because we are only here for a year. And I think that it's really important for us as student leaders to establish goals that are longer term than just our office. So one of the biggest things that I've been telling students is that over the next year, I want to establish a strategic plan for what we want in the pub remodel. So whether that's bringing off-campus dining options, whether that's bringing more academic support into the pub, whether that's making the pub more community-centered rather than just a place that students either come to eat and then just go. I want as much student input in that as possible. Some of the things that have happened in the past regarding the pub remodel were a committee that was specifically charged with having these discussions and getting as much student input as possible. And I think that that's where it needs to start. We need to get as much student input and understanding of what students want, and then go from there. Rebecca's right in saying that our bonds are going to end soon, and we're going to have to renew them. One of the possibilities is to renew those bonds in 2014. So potentially we might be working on this remodel in a few years. And I know that one of the issues that students are having is dealing with all of the construction. And so one of the things I really want to push is the possibility of doing the pub remodel in phases so that students are still allowed to use the building. I'll yield.
And then 2 minutes for you to kind of give closing statements, your thoughts on what was just said.
Okay. Another thing I wanted to add is that the pub is a student union building. Has anything to do with administrators. So something I would really like to push is make sure that students have 100% of the input of what goes on here. We have a lot of things that we have right now, but we can definitely work off of them, bring outside dining. There's been talk about also a movie theater, but all of this stuff, a bar as well. This stuff all needs to come through you guys, not administrators and not just myself. So what I really want to do is make sure that a survey is out for how much you're willing to pay. I know we're paying at least $1,000 for extra fees on top of our tuition right now, and I don't want to do that at all to students, to put more money if that's not something that you want. So I would definitely make sure that your input is given for what you want to see in the pub and also how much you're willing to pay for those things.
Alrighty, thank you. Our next question is for you, and it is, how can we improve the relationship between the students of Eastern and the city of Chinook?
So I think that currently we do an okay job of connecting our students with our larger community. One of the big things that we do is we do the community food drive during homecoming, and that really makes a huge impact to the families and the groups that are outside of just like Eastern students, and even affecting Eastern students. And I think that something that we really need to start doing is remembering that as student leaders, we have a really awesome opportunity to serve. And so something that I would really like to push for next year is increasing those times when we are giving back to our community, whether that's through philanthropy, community service, promoting the things like the Cheney cleanup. Because at the end of the day, like, they're just as much our community as we are as students. So as student leaders, we should be like reaching out to them and really kind of encouraging students to give back.
Okay. And then 4 minutes for your position.
All right. I think here at Eastern we have a really unique campus. The aspect of it is that we're kind of centered right in the middle of a community with family and children, and it's something that we don't always think about is that we're in their area as well. Campus issues affect them. As your Student Health and Safety Services Council representative, I've been trying to work for a tobacco-free campus, and that's something that I've really tried to look into is how this will affect the community and how it'll push smokers to their area. So I think it's really important to make sure that when we do big changes like a tobacco-free campus, that we reach out to them and see what their opinions are and how we can help the transition be easier for them. This isn't just our city, and it's important to make sure that they're included. Another thing is to make sure that we're helping them with their events. Let's Move Cheney, they've been working on that this year, and it's a way for students to become more active in the community. And we went to ASCWU, went to the strategic planning to give our input, and they really appreciated having us there, and they would really like more input from the university. And I think that if we reach out to them and help them, they're going to be even more willing to come and help us. And then to go off what Richard said about the cleaning up, the Cheney Clean Sweep, I believe is what it was called.
Something along those lines.
I know that I've read in the Easterner opinion articles from people in the community about how frustrated they are about garbage, and they think that it's mostly university students, and whether or not it is, I think that it's really great to go out there and show that we respect the city as well, and continuing with stuff like that will encourage them to want to help us with our projects here.
All right, and then 2 minutes for your closing thoughts on the subject.
Again, I think that this comes back to what we value as students and as a university, and I think that it's really evident as Eastern students that we value giving back to our community. Again, I'm just going to go back to we should be engaging with the members of our community as much as possible, whether that's, again, through philanthropy, through community service, through conversations, through serving not only our students, but also the population around us. So, I yield.
And then we have some extra time, so we're actually going to ask you all one more question, and that is, how would you ensure a positive working environment and a cohesive relationship between the ASCWU Council and yourself?
For me?
For you first. Yeah.
Okay,
2
perfect.
minutes.
First of all, I think that we've had a lot of great projects go on this year. Regina Steele, who's currently our diversity outreach, has a diversity week going on, and I think that the key way to make sure that all the council members are working together is to understand that a project isn't just the personal council members project, it's our whole ASCWU project, and we need to be there and support them 100%. So, for example, I'm just going to use Regina, her event, that's not just for her. We need to go there and make sure that she feels support from all of us, because you're elected to represent 12,000 students as one person, but we have 12 council members in total that you can use all those resources and make the university so much better for everyone. So it's just my goal was to make sure that we bond together if I was elected as a council, and we're there and we support each other and we're friends and we have each other's back.
And then 4 minutes for your thoughts.
Thank you. So I completely agree with what Rebecca is saying. One of the things that I've done in my time here at Eastern is I serve for a student organization called PCUR, which is essentially like student government, but on a regional and national level, representing the residence halls. And I serve as the director there. And so I work with 6 different individuals that are working with different populations of students around our region. So what I've done in that position is I've essentially established a culture of collaboration and working towards common goals. And so one of the things that I would like to see next year with the council is collaboration and support from every one of the council members, just like with what Rebecca said. And then in addition to that, I think that something that's really important as the vice president is to be looking out for not only the personal aspect of this job as student leaders, but also the work-related aspect of this position. But so I want to reach out to those council positions and encourage them to be setting not only personal goals but long-term goals for their position, as well as short-term goals. So something that I really want to implement next year is weekly or bi-weekly meetings with those council positions, so that I can ask them, what are the things that I can do to support you? What are the things that the council can do to support you? Because I think that as student leaders, we forget that we need to ask for help, and that it's hard sometimes to realize that there's a wealth of information and resources that we just need to reach out to. So again, establishing a culture of support and just kind of being mindful that it's more than just a position. It's also your student and your student leader. So.
All right, and then closing statements for you.
I have to completely agree. We need to reach out and help each other. Just a final thing that I would like to add, I'm really passionate about this. I really am passionate about representing students. I know that sometimes students' voice aren't heard as much as they should be, considering you're the reason we're here, like you're the one paying for all of this. And I just really want to make sure that you have the best possible time here at Eastern and that everything's going the way that you want it to go. And if I was elected as your vice president, I would really strive to make sure that all the council representatives and all the different areas are representing you the best that they possibly can, because again, you're the only reason why we're all here. And I really appreciate all of you for coming out today. Thank you.
Alrighty, and so we're just going to give you each 2 minutes to kind of talk about anything that wasn't involved in our questions, any other topics. We'll go ahead and start with you.
Cool. So I decided to run for executive vice president because I felt that it was going to be the position that was going to allow me to make the most change, most positive change for students. The role of the executive vice president is to work with the council position. So you get to work directly with the individuals that are elected to serve all of you. One of the things that I've learned in my time as a community advisor is that building a community is the starting point to making things happen. And so what I want to establish is a culture of reaching out to students, walking around, say, a residence hall, and asking students what issues are they facing. Walking around River Point campus, asking those students, what issues are you facing? I think that we have moved away from a culture of reaching out to students in a more personal way, and I want to reestablish that. I really think that when it comes down to this position, it's really important to remember that we are elected to serve students. And though I have a lot of goals, like the pub remodel and working with other student organizations and really kind of establishing this culture, the biggest thing is I want to best represent students.
Alrighty, and your closing remarks.
Like we've already talked about, the PUD remodel is a huge goal of mine. I really think it's time to get the ball rolling on it. But a couple of other things that I would really like to work on is a tobacco-free campus, like I've already been working, and I'll be able to help the new Student Health and Safety Services Council rep with that. I really am passionate about helping students, and I really want to make this place as the best place possible, the best Eastern possible that we can possibly make it for everyone. And I really think that students should get more involved, and I would love to reach out. Like Richard said, we get these survey emails, and I know personally I just ignore 90% of them because it's just another email from the university, but it's a lot different when you're out there shaking people's hands, telling them that you care about them, and getting their personal opinions on issues on campus.
Alrighty, thanks to both of you, and give a big round of applause for the vice president.